Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on podcast platforms such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we got to talk about the market because Bitcoin today crossed over 120,000 again. It's just bouncing between 118,000 and 120,000. So we're going to have to be patient here because what's happening, a lot of the liquidity is actually hitting Ethereum. You know, every dog has its day in this market. I've often told you guys about the rotational liquidity, and ETH today pumped past $4,600. It is not far from its old all-time high of around 4,870 bucks or so, around that number. So it's very close, and once it breaks the all-time high, it will enter into price discovery. It looks like there's still some room for it to do that, and it is approaching the overbought zone. But in a bull market like this, these coins can stay in the overbought zone for a while, and the bulls are in full control. The MACD on the daily is in full green, so that's a very bullish sign. Not to mention there are huge news items around Ethereum, huge narratives as well. For example, ETHZilla's stock jumped over 90% after Peter Thiel, billionaire investor Peter Thiel, took a stake in the company and discloses 82,186 ETH holdings. And you also got Tom Lee, his respective Ethereum Treasury company Bitmine. They are raising $20 billion to buy Ethereum. That is crazy. What a number. So they're looking to be maybe the micro strategy of Ethereum. But we've been talking about this. These crypto treasury companies are on the rise. This trend is not ending, and it's going to continue to grow as these companies are able to breathe new life into their business by holding crypto assets. So this is pretty incredible. So the narratives are there. And with the pump, a lot of ETH shorts are getting liquidated. So over $135 million liquidated today after these bears are trying to short ETH, and it's been on this epic run. So really great. But like I said, guys, ETH is going to cool off at some point, and then there's going to be rotational liquidity, maybe Solana's turn next, maybe XRP. If you look at the XRP chart, it is consolidating just like Bitcoin. Its MACD is about to flip green, so the bulls will take control on the daily here, but it hasn't done it as yet. Bitcoin's MACD has flipped green, but it's still consolidating and chopping. So, but the big thing that we want to take away from the Ethereum pumping is that the total 3 is also on the rise following Ethereum's move, and it's what we've seen historically because a lot of coins are built on the Ethereum blockchain. ETH has been kind of the benchmark for the overall altcoin market. So if you look at the total 3 chart, which excludes Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins, it's also on the rise. Its MACD is in the green as well, and it still has room to run on the daily. Its RSI, that is showing there's still room before it becomes overbought. So things are setting up beautifully here. Sometimes you have, these 1 or 2 coins that are moving, and the rest of the market is a little bit sluggish. It's falling, but it's a bit sluggish. But then you get to this point where there's the parabolic run, right? And I believe there's a parabolic run coming this month. I don't know the exact time. I don't have a crystal ball, but based on the charts, based on the things we've seen historically, it's looking good. And, confirmation of that is Bitcoin dominance continues to break down. It's currently below 60%. So I expect that to continue to break down, and we'll watch it closely to see, will this keep breaking down all the way up to Q4, or will there be recovery points, with the market, let's say, correcting at the end of August into September, where we have a cool down, then it picks up late September into October. We'll have to wait and see how things play out. But this is confirmation. In addition, USDT, the stablecoin dominance here, it is also breaking down. And as I've been telling you guys, we go below 4 and, we head down to even below 3.7%. And it's going to be parabolic moves. It's going to be euphoria. I've seen this time and time again. I've been here since 2016. So the setup is there. The game is patience. And if you are planning to take profits in this bull market cycle, make sure you have a profit taking plan, because I do believe we're going to hit new highs this month. I don't think every coin will, but I think we're going to start seeing a lot of coins rallying, touching their all-time highs, some breaking to new highs, right? So like I mentioned earlier, Ethereum very close to breaking its all-time high, and then you got like XRP, which has already broke its all-time high, and it's obviously going to hit new all-time high. Same thing with Bitcoin. So things are lining up beautifully here, guys, and we are in the midst of the bull market. All of this is following global liquidity. We've often talked about this is a major pillar in the thesis for why we are in a bull market and why asset prices are increasing. This is one of the items. And as I've said many times, we are in a macro bull market for all assets, real estate, precious metals, the stock market, crypto, of course. That's why you're seeing all of them are hitting new all-time highs. If you want to know why, it's because global liquidity is going up. And if you're wondering why we're focusing specifically on crypto, and don't get me wrong, I do have some stocks in my portfolio, I'm primarily in crypto, is because it's the fastest horse in the race. It has outperformed all these other assets, real estate, precious metals, and the stock market. So I hope you understand what's happening here and you have a full lay of the land. And of course, we're going to ride this up until the top, guys, and take our profits, of course, if you are planning to take profits. And one of the things I've been calling out is that global liquidity is showing a top in late September into early October. So we're going to have to see if it does continue to rise, maybe it finds a bottom and moves up, or that's it. And, we'll watch it closely. Now, some CPI data came in today, and the September rate cut odds surged to 90%. So, the futures, the Fed fund rate futures showing that the market and people are thinking that definitely a cut is coming in September. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. It does seem like the odds are increasing, but political talking points aside, the bond market is really going to tell the story of what may happen because the Fed is in a tough spot. And a lot of people follow political narratives. They don't actually understand how all this works. They don't look at the bond market. They don't understand the things the Fed is doing. And they get caught up in political narratives. And maybe that's the reason, right? Maybe Trump and Jerome Powell, they do this charade and this show, and it distracts people from what's actually happening and the potential risks and so forth. So it is what it is, but let's see. Maybe we get that rate cut. Maybe, all of these things happening at the same time lead to the blow off top. The rate cut, Congress passing crypto legislation, the market structure bill in the Senate, global M2 topping, global liquidity topping at that same time. The tariff, the US-China tariff stuff got the pushback 90 days. That puts us in October. So a lot of things are aligning here for like narratives and specific milestones for the top. So let's see what happens, folks. Now, Bitcoin whales, according to data from Sentiment, wallets of 10 or more Bitcoin continue to accumulate. There's no massive downtrend or anything like that. They're anticipating higher prices. So this is a very good sign. In addition, the Bitcoin Pi Cycle top indicator still showing we are not close to the all-time high. Now, that doesn't mean over the next few months, these moving averages can get closer and touch and say, hey, that's it. Party's over, right? So we're going to be watching all these various metrics and data points, not our emotions, not our feelings, but what the data is telling us, and try to make informed, educated decisions based on this data. So, folks, everything on track. The fact that ETH is ripping, even if you don't hold ETH, is very good for the entire altcoin market. I love what I'm seeing here. I do hold ETH, so my portfolio looks great as a result, but I think this is very beneficial for the altcoin market. Now, folks, speaking of altcoins, check out Proppy. Proppy is leading the charge with putting real estate on chain. Folks, we know the future of the markets is tokenized assets, right? They're going to put stocks, real estate, and everything on the blockchain. Well, Proppy allows you to buy and sell real estate using cryptos. If you want to sell your house for Bitcoin or XRP or whatever, you can do that, and vice versa. They have tokenized and done some very cool things like putting deeds on chain. They've created NFTs for properties, and they use Coinbase to do the crypto escrow for the purchasing and selling, of course. And they've been around since 2017. They've facilitated over $4 billion in transactions. And I'm a Proppy token holder. I started investing in them in 2018 because I saw they were the first movers in trying to disrupt the real estate industry with this technology. And I still remain bullish. Even billionaire Tim Draper is an investor in this company. So, folks, real estate is the world's largest asset class, and blockchain will disrupt completely, and probably has a lot of the respective technology and solutions to do so. There was actually some very big news around Propi today. They have announced a collaboration with Morpho Labs, the most trusted lending network. So Coinbase uses Morpho Labs, and they're doing a lot of DeFi financing and much more. Morpho actually powers Coinbase's Bitcoin lending program. So this is a legit platform. On-chain financing and on-chain real estate are two ecosystems that have always been destined to meet, and we are excited to embark on this journey with Morpho. Our starting point is Morpho's lending vaults. Imagine your idle USDC, the stablecoin, in escrow, now earning you yield. Next up, a crypto loan product directly tied to your home's closing. Do you see what's coming, right? This is why I'm bullish on Propi. I hold a token, and some cool things are being built here. So folks, if you want to learn about Propi, go to propi.com. The link will be in the description. Now, look at this news, folks. Vivopower. Many of you know Vivopower. They have an XRP Treasury strategy, and most recently they announced they will also be investing in Ripple's equity, being shareholders, right? Well, they have partnered with Crypto.com. Here's the announcement. We are excited to announce our strategic partnership with Vivopower to provide custodial support for the expansion of its digital asset treasury holding strategy and more. This is a very big partnership, and here's also some interesting news from that release. Through Crypto.com's platform, shareholders will also benefit from the superior liquidity for XRP and other digital assets, as well as the access to the upcoming XRP restaking via Flare network, which Vivopower has already partnered with. Now, I'll be interviewing the folks at Flare very soon. Actually, I shouldn't say very soon. It's going to be in September, but that interview is booked. But this is pretty great. I love what Vivopower is doing here, because they're not only holding the asset, they're looking to expand the XRP ecosystem, and including Flare and enabling DeFi much more. So very big news if you are an XRP and Flare token holder, and also a Vivopower stockholder if you have that in your portfolio. Now, folks, we have some huge news around Circle. So Circle is going to launch a layer 1 blockchain ARC using USDC stablecoin as the native gas token. This is interesting. I did not see this coming. So the news comes as the stablecoin issuer reported its Q2 results, with total revenue up 53% to $658 million. So let me give you the details here. Fresh off the back of its blockbuster 1.2 billion IPO in June, Circle unveiled plans for its own stablecoin-focused layer 1 blockchain called ARC on Tuesday, expected to launch on public testnet this fall. The EVM-compatible chain is designed to provide an enterprise-grade foundation for stablecoin payments, FX, and capital markets applications, according to the press release. ARC will use USDC as a native gas token, include a stablecoin FX engine, sub-second settlement, and opt-in privacy, while fully integrating with Circle's platform and maintaining interoperability with other partner blockchains, the firm said. So this is huge, folks. Very fascinating. And I think Circle, they've seen the benefits of Coinbase's layer 2 on Ethereum called Base, and how, different stablecoins and different things have been built there. Not to mention their competitor Ripple with RLUSD has its own blockchain, the XRP Ledger. So I think this is a very smart move by Circle. They are the second largest stablecoin issuer, obviously, and building their own blockchain, creating more of an ecosystem, kind of what Ripple has with payment providers and the XRP Ledger and much more, is smart. So things are heating up from a competition standpoint, and this could generate Circle more revenue, of course. So bullish news for the stablecoin market and just the overall growth of the crypto industry. Now, moving ahead, Grayscale launches Deepbook and Walrus Trust for exposure to Deep and Wall tokens, two SUI protocols. So I do hold SUI in my portfolio. I don't hold these respective protocols, which are layer 2s on SUI, but interesting that Grayscale is expanding here and they are, adding new tokens. So Deep and Wall are ranked 226 and 168 by market capitalization at $372 million and $559 million respectively. So some details on these chains. So DeepBook is a central limit order book on the SUI blockchain, serving as a liquidity layer for decentralized finance applications in the network. Walrus is a data layer that lets developers store and share information directly on chain with a focus on scalability and privacy for use cases such as gaming and social platforms. While native to SUI, Walrus is chain agnostic and can store data for any blockchain. So very, very interesting. And once again, both are built on SUI's layer one. So this is going to bring more liquidity into these tokens and as well as the SUI ecosystem. So very bullish if you're a SUI holder. Now, final news item, Pantera Capital reveals it has invested over $300 million in crypto treasury companies. That's a huge amount because, this trend pretty much just started, but it shows these hedge funds. And this is, by the way, this is Dan Moorhead. I've had him on the podcast years ago, and he was a very early investor in Bitcoin. I believe he was the first hedge fund to invest in Bitcoin and crypto and build a portfolio around these assets. So Pantera has deployed over $300 million into digital asset treasury companies, which hold large crypto reserves and aim to grow token holdings per share. Bitmine Immersion, one of Pantera's top positions, has grown ETH per share by 330% in its first month, surpassing Strategy's early Bitcoin pace, Pantera said. So that's Tom Lee's firm, of course, Bitmine, which we mentioned earlier. They're looking to raise $20 billion to buy more ETH, which is pretty insane. But guys, this is the bull market. But remember, bull markets don't last forever. So if you are planning to take profits, make sure you got that plan written down. And I'll be sharing when I'm taking profits. I'll be letting you guys know. And I'll be sharing the data points and the signals and the metrics to highlight, hey, we're in the top zone. I can't call the exact top. I don't have a crystal ball, but I can say, here are the data points that are showing we are in that zone. And you need to start executing your plan and things along those lines. So strap in, guys. Things are going to get very exciting. I'm really excited for this month, September, October, going into November. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see. Maybe if this bull market spills into 2026, I don't know. This is where we're going to keep following things like global liquidity. Are certain price points hit on the Fibonacci models? From an Elliott wave standpoint, are the respective waves being hit as far as the prices? We'll have to wait and see. So this is where we got to pay attention. Now is the time to really lock in. Don't get distracted. Don't walk away. Obviously, when the price is consolidating and, let's say you don't hold a coin, it's okay. But you want to keep a close eye on things overall because things can move really quick. And you don't want to have the bull market pass you by and you're not paying attention. You want to execute on your profits, of course. So folks, let me know what you think about these news items. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Also, a great way you can support me in the podcast is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. Also, check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. So if you'd like to learn more about all these things, check out all the links in the description. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.